Today we're exploring a town entirely dedicated to Lophophora williamsii, commonly known as Peyote, and also a globally recognized hotspot for these cacti and other species. We'll also shed light on the negative impact that the popularity of such a location can have on its cactus population. If it's your first time on the channel, welcome! I hope you like cacti. We make nothing but content related to cacti and succulents in both cultivation and habitat to try to highlight the importance of their conservation. Remember, take nothing but pictures from habitat. As soon as you land in San Luis Potosí, you're immediately surrounded by cacti, which is an amazing change of pace for me since I come from a place where there are none. San Luis Potosí, a city with 900,000 inhabitants, holds a unique distinction as the former capital of Mexico, not once but twice. It's named after the King of France, San Luis, and the mineral-rich mines of Potosí, Bolivia. This historical connection offers a glimpse into the incredible mineral diversity that this region is renowned for. The geological richness of this state is also a key factor contributing to the evolution of numerous cactus species in the area. Whenever I travel to the desert, I'm always eager to leave the noise and traffic of the city behind me. As a city dweller myself, I yearn for the tranquility of the desert. But before we can delve into the beauty of the Chihuahuan desert, we must first stock up on camping gear, as this journey will lead us to some remote locations where we'll search for the remarkable residents of the Chihuahuan desert. Some of which are notoriously elusive, as we would soon discover. Our journey begins at an iconic locality that has captivated cactus enthusiasts for generations. This place was once the thriving habitat of thousands of cacti, particularly Lophophora williamsii, and while we did manage to find some healthy specimens, it's painfully evident that the fervor of the cactus community has brought the inhabitants of this stunning locality perilously close to the edge of extinction. It's truly disheartening to consider that those who should cherish and protect nature can unintentionally contribute to its destruction. And it's easy to assume that the vast desert holds an abundance of cacti and that our individual purchases of cacti that have been poached from their ecosystems have a negligible impact on their populations. However, the stark reality is that our collective actions are rapidly driving these remarkable plants toward oblivion. We'll continue our ascent to seek another beautiful local resident. Not this Mammillaria candida, but a much smaller one that thrives on rocks and represents a brand new genus for our channel, a tiny Turbinicarpus. If we can locate them, they'll be the trip's first challenging species, yet we need to figure out how to scale these steep rocks, which is precisely where they like to grow. While we ascend these rocky landscapes, let me introduce you to an extraordinary town perched at an altitude of over 8,000 feet in the rugged Sierra de Catorce mountains. Real de Catorce, often dubbed the Peyote Capital of the world, is celebrated for its historical ties to the mystical cactus Lophophora williamsii, or peyote, revered for its spiritual and medicinal significance among indigenous cultures for centuries. Today, however, it's transformed into a bustling tourist attraction for those in pursuit of a pseudo-spiritual experience involving the consumption of these remarkable plants. The consequence of such tourism is a locality left devoid of these once abundant cacti, a poignant reality of a town that initially embraced an entirely different way of life. And now it's time for us to leave Real de Catorce to go see some more amazing cacti. But first, a quick pit stop. Thank you for joining our adventure. Remember to check out our website eastcoastcamanchaca.com for cactus t-shirts, soil, or plants. And now let's go back to the original locality from the beginning of the video. Every crevice in these rocks is like its own mini community. When it does rain or condensation forms on them, water trickles down these cracks, creating an ideal environment for cactus and other plant seed to germinate. While exploring these crevices, we discovered our first Turbinicarpus clinkerianus, and another, even stumbling upon this beautiful family. And to give you a sense of their size, here are my sausage fingers. We also came across this stunning williamsii colony, which has miraculously withstood the threat of poachers, most likely thanks to the cover provided by the agave lechuguilla growing above them. Before we make our descent down the mountain, there's one more surprise in store. It took me by surprise as well, considering this place isn't widely recognized among astrophytum enthusiasts, but here it is. It's an astrophytum mediostigma, a mere seedling, but I always find young plants in their natural habitat particularly thrilling. It's a positive indicator of the ecosystem's resilience, even in the face of destructive human activities. Having witnessed what we just did, and given the limited population in this renowned locality, I believe we can consider our mission accomplished. It's time to descend the mountain as we have many more sites to explore today. Just as we were about to wrap up our expedition, for a quick second I believed I had stumbled upon the most amazing Ariocarpus retusus specimen in the entire locality. However, that initial elation quickly soured as I came to an alarming realization. This wasn't a healthy plant at all, but rather something far more dire.
We were just on our way out and we found, I guess, somebody's storage of poached Ariocarpus retusus. The largest specimen we've seen on the entire mountain ended up being a poached specimen in somebody's idea of a storage, because as you can see there's more plants here that have all been ripped. This one's already rotting because I guess they were caught in the middle of the act and they had to leave in a hurry, so they dropped them off here. 4 or 5 plants that are probably each 100 years old or more, just thrown on the ground because somebody wanted to make a quick buck. Guys, if you see these plants on the internet for sale, don't buy them. Look how easy it is to recognize what an Ariocarpus looks like from habitat. There is no way any grower in the world, no matter what environment they live in, achieves a look like this. If you see a taproot that's folded in like this and these kind of thick fibrous roots, just you already know that this is a habitat plant. I mean, it's pretty obvious, I think. So if you see these on the internet for sale, please don't buy them. If we stop buying them, they're gonna just die off in the seller's hands, and they're gonna learn not to buy any more poached cacti because people are just not interested in buying them. So let's do what we can to stop this thing from happening. We're gonna look for a better spot to hide these, so hopefully they can reroot, and hopefully these people don't, and if they do come back, at least maybe hopefully they won't find them. We're gonna try our best to hide them. This is really sad, and I'm having bittersweet feelings of how to approach this situation, but I think it's really good that we expose what's happening out here in these wild ecosystems, because we can have an impact on this situation and we can slow it down as much as possible.
We found good spots for them underneath nurse plants, and I made sure to cover them with plant debris, not only to shield them from the harsh sun until they're able to reroot, but also to cover them from poachers that would most likely come back to try to find these plants. But remember that in the end, it's you and I, the collectors, that have the power to stop this from happening. Remember to take only pictures from habitat and never remove the plants or the animals. Catch you on the next episode.